But on the other hand, that precludes any sort of dialogue or discourse. It means you can't branch off, and something that's very beautiful about a conversation is it can branch off. And this sort of rigid evaluation sort of precludes that. And it also affects how people program the chatbots for this thing, because they know they're going to be getting the same questions. And they know what kind of questions the judges like to ask, so they make sure they have an answer for each of those. And then maybe they don't think about discourse, about having longer dialogues with the machine. Another thing, too, that's a sort of a bias in a Turing test, is that do we really want a machine which seems human? A lot of people look at computer intelligences and try to do fun things with them to not be human. Maybe it's more interesting to see what a computer would feel, or how a computer would interact with another computer. Maybe that gives us an interesting idea about what it is like to be a machine or like to be a human, instead of just seeing computers trying to impersonate us. And so very often when people write these things, they'll get it working, and then the first thing they'll do is have it talk to itself and see what happens. And if anyone's ever played with ELIZA, most of the ELIZA programs, ELIZA was an early therapist-like chatbot. Most of the ELIZA programs allow you to turn ELIZA on herself, which is kind of fun. And maybe the most impressive example of that I've seen is the following, which was a evaluation of machine intelligence conversation.
I don't see kill her in your address book. Should I look for businesses by that name? Joe, tickle me. Searching for shell.com. Sorry, I don't see Eric in your contacts.
So at some point, Furby just gives up. I think Furby decides it's a machine. They can keep going like that all day. So the first use of artificial intelligence in the sense of what it means today was at a conference or a little workshop that was held at Dartmouth in the 50s. And what they proposed that they would get some good researchers together. They'd have a good time, they'd set up some programs, and they would solve some problems in artificial intelligence. And they were very interested in language, in learning. So this was actually early on one of the important places that focused on learning, as well as things like pattern recognition, visual processes, reasoning, that sort of stuff. And it's kind of fun to read this paper because you read through it, and it's very ambitious. They say